All right, guys, welcome back to this round 2 coverage, back 9 for the Alberta 2021 Alberta Provincial Championships.
Again, I'm Greg Hearn. Beside me is Michael Curtis. And this is our round 2 lead card. And Playfair Promo and Athletics is our title sponsor for Provincials this year.
We're out here at the South Bear course, sponsored by Pizza Hut.
And thank you to Brant Tractor, Pomeroy Lodging, and Dane Montgomery Realtor, other sponsors of our tournament. These are the players on the card. We have Tyler, Casey, Mike, and Bogdan.
Alright, so far we've had 2 rounds on this first day. It's been windy, smoky, and we'll see what they can do on this back 9.
So starting with hole 10, this is a par 4 playing into the headwind. Basket is next to that large tree on the hill. So you're going to just want to pump a drive out past the ball diamond and lay it into the open area with an upshot, potentially not falling down the hill. Ball diamond plays OB, and the OB to hole 9 is also in play.
So that is Casey's drive, I believe. So he gets out there a nice long way, well in bounds, doesn't have to worry about that. This is Tyler.
Keeps it nice and high, a little bit of turnover, and he should.
It seemed like he stalled it out a bit, but he's right in the middle, so no real worries. So here's Bogdan.
Yeah, third on the tee is Bogdan. So hopefully he can get some distance and get down quick. Oh,
that's close.
It's close. He looks like he's on the line.
Which would be OB, but
we'll see how the score plays out. And here's Heckbert's drive. Puts it right down the middle. A bit more to the right side. Gets good distance on it. Very nicely done.
Yeah.
So you can see here Tyler. You can see the top of the basket there in the distance. And Tyler's playing that flip up into the headwind.
It's a little low, so he's not going to get the distance that he needs to get all the way there.
Yeah. And Bogdan playing from his 1 meter off the OB line and hits the basket. Nicely done.
Yeah, so there's Mike Heckbert. He's probably got 280. Is that accurate? Leaves it short anyways.
He does leave it short, and it's going to be a very difficult putt. With the downhill slope behind that basket and looking just outside of circle 1. It's not ideal.
We should say here, it is a headwind, but there's also a hill right past that basket. Gives you lots of rollaway potential, and it's also got a lot of wind coming up that hill. So
yeah. Wow. Yeah, Tyler really did leave that upshot quite short. So he'll just have a little tiny shot to the basket.
Even that one, he didn't want to risk that hill at all.
No, it looks like he's really trying to avoid this wind. He's perfectly fine taking a 4 on this hole and not having anything happen to his discs.
So Bogdan, he's down the hill a bit. So if he hit, he went past as well.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad up. Should give him make him a comeback there.
Casey wants nothing to do with it. Puts it under the basket for his 4.
No, and as we saw with Mike on hole number 4, tried to run it, hit the basket, and got a bad roll away. So it's certainly possible out here.
Yeah. And the safe play for Tyler doesn't pay off with that putt just coming a little short on the chains.
Yeah, and you wonder how much of that one is the heavy chains and the wind pushing the disc, right? So
yeah. This South Bear has the Prodigy T1 baskets, and they are a little rude to the discs at times. As shown, that looked more wind with the high chains for Bogdan.
Yeah.
So the double bogey, it looks like he was OB on his drive.
Yeah. All right, hole 11? Hole 11 here. You've kind of got a downhill tee shot. You've got a lane to the left and a lane to the right. You can't really see the lane to the left for the forehand shot from the tee, but it is definitely there. Casey taking this backhand out to the right, leaves it a little wide, but he does make good progress down there. Mike taking the local route.
Yeah, so hole 11, this is the first of our 4 wood holes. The ideal play is get 4 birdies. So we'll see how these guys can execute. You're out of the wind. They're all fairly short holes, 200 feet each. So.
Yeah, there's some water, some elevation though, and lots of trees. So you still have to be hitting your lines. It's not an easy 4 birdies. I always like to think of coming in here, it's like you're either making birdies or bogeys. Depends how your day is going, but you're either making birdies or bogeys.
Yeah. Tyler had a very nice drive. Didn't look like he hit anything till the end, so he should be up there near the basket.
And that looked like a little low for Bogdan, but I don't know where his disc actually ended up. And Mike's putt has been just off a little bit on the day.
Very nice birdie for Tyler after that unfortunate bogey on hole 10.
So, I guess Bogdan made it all the way down here to the basket. There is a lot of dead log fall that makes a wall on that left side that can definitely either hold you up or give you this little like power ramp all the way to the basket.
And we missed Casey's upshot, so that's his tap in for par. And Mike will clean up for his par as well. Going into our hole 12, so we're going to be playing a little turnover around 170 feet off a slight elevation drop. And tight tunnel again, you want to shape this shot. You can do a little forehand flick with a putter as long as it doesn't finish too far to the right. And yeah, we'll see how the players can execute with the low ceiling as well. A lot lower for tall players like Casey here. That was really well done. Kept that forehand straight for a lot of the flight.
So I'm pretty sure we've kind of got a mix of tee pads out here now, but for the tournament we've got grass on the open holes, which are now concrete tee pads, and then in the woods here we've got kind of a heavy rubber mat. So within all these wood holes we do have some rubber mats. There's Tyler with his upshot.
Nice birdie for Bogdan.
And Bogdan's doing well in the woods right now, 2 down.
The unfortunate thing about this hole is if you do put your drive just a little long, there are 2 very thick trees on either side of the basket that just make it difficult to putt around. So even though he's probably only 18 feet away from the basket, he has a lot of work to do still.
Even just standing, he's got a lot of work.
Yeah. So
check the feet with the cards. Yeah, everything's good.
And wow,
that shows a lot of touch.
Yeah. Anytime you have to forehand putt in circle 1, it's quite unfortunate.
Tyler saves his par off an early hit on the tee shot.
And nice birdie for Mike. Well placed drive on that one.
All right, hole 13 here. Got either a forehand or a turnover shot. You got water on the left-hand side. You've got a bank that's eroding and dropping off daily. It's not a long shot. I'm not going to say the camera footage here is good. It's we're going to see a couple shots. We're not going to see others.
Okay.
So
yeah,
I left this in here because
but right
kind of puts you in the mood. Bogdan's disc faded out.
Okay.
So
Well, as a TD, I do ask that they retrieve their discs after the round, but they were the last card on the course for the day, so I guess how they spend their time is up to them.
I'm pretty sure he did retrieve it after the round because he didn't get it there.
Yeah.
I think he went swimming after the round, and he pulled out a lot of discs, so there's a lot of people that are thankful for him swimming.
Yes, thank you everyone for retrieving discs on hole 13 here and hole 2. About 35 were returned to me to return to players.
I know I got a disc from Long Lost that came out of hole 2, so
did I.
Yeah.
It was quite nice. Nice birdie for Casey. His drive was in a normal place for the drive, and same with Tyler. That was quite well done. Usually don't end up a little long there of the pins.
Yeah, one thing, there's certainly no place for a camera guy to stand on the tee pad.
No.
Usually one person goes down at a time and the rest stand out at the short tees and kind of spot.
Yeah. If you want to experience this hole in all its glory, come down to South Bear and check it out before the bank erodes and there is no basket anymore. We've lost about 15 feet in the time it's been installed.
Yeah.
So this is hole 14. It plays like hole 11, except now the elevation is slightly upwards, so you can go left, you can go right, and see how these players execute.
Yeah. Casey kind of does a low shot. Usually when you go out to that left side, you want to get higher, but I think he got most of the way up there, stayed clean.
Yeah, my preference is this right-hand gap with that slight hyzer. He catches I would say that's an early tree. He's going to be in circle 2. So you want to hit a further tree than that one he got.
I certainly do better on the right side, but I feel like the left side is easier if you've got a confident forehand.
Yeah, well, you see that tree just over Mike's right shoulder. That is my tree that I hit. It's very sappy, lots of little disc marks. So that's my miss.
Yeah, Mike gets up there. He's going to be outside of circle 1, but I think he'll have a putt at it. Here's Bogdan.
Yeah.
So he gets a little more height, and you can see he had a lot of angle on that disc.
Yeah, and you hear from Mike Heckbert that that's the shot. And it is. Most of the forehands I see are played very high. Almost. Yeah.
Good putt, just that left side, and it just slips out.
Yeah. It seemed to have a lot of hyzer angle as it came in.
It's kind of his preferred putt. He does keep it on that hyzer. Casey puts in another birdie. He's got it to 11 down now.
Yeah, that's 8 strokes currently on this card.
It's sneaky and quiet. His game's so clean, right? He's just putting in those strokes.
Yeah, if you're not paying attention, you might not even be aware how many you're behind by. Okay, so this is our hole 15. We're teeing. This is our par 4. You're teeing off, and you want to land in this about where the camera is right now for a second shot through this tunnel. Maybe getting over the trees if you can, coming into the green. The green, there's a bit of a slope, some ridges, but the green's not going to give you the troubles on this hole. It's going to be that second shot.
Yeah, so you can see you do have to kind of navigate a little bit of a tunnel on your drive. You're going uphill as well, trying to land it on a side hill. You can turn it over to the right and then kind of get up a little higher. And then there is an opportunity to go around the backside of those trees if you want, but it does add a lot of distance to this hole, but it makes the second shot a lot easier.
Yeah. And you mentioned that tunnel they have to drive out of. Tyler seems to have caught a bit of the trees and landed short of his intended route.
And we do have OB for the tournament up on that right-hand side just to prevent people from kind of going out really wide. And that's an amazing shot.
Was that Casey?
No, I think that was Mike Heckbert.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the best shot I've ever seen on this hole.
Yeah, that went really far. You usually don't see drives getting into that tunnel.
No.
Yeah,
this is a little shorter than you'd want to be, but this is more typical.
Interesting play style.
Even though I've edited this footage, I still didn't expect the roller on that shot.
No. So, and this drive from Casey, which we missed the drive, is the more typical longer shot that you'll see. And it's nice he's far enough away he can play the sidearm over the trees and get it towards the pin.
I think he just catches the trees on the left, just at the end, and he gets it dropped down. So him and Bogdan are actually just ahead of us there on the left in that tree kind of jut out.
Okay.
But they're a little more on the forward side of it.
Yeah.
But Tyler's got to do a little Anheuser forehand, swing it past the one, back around the other, and just kind of hope to get up there for a putt.
Okay.
This is the best drive I've ever seen.
Yeah. There's nothing to say. Just the easiest upshot I've ever seen on this hole. On the second shot. Puts it near the basket. And it's...
I think this is Casey coming out first.
And those trees are thick. There's... you almost want to throw it vertical just to get it through the trees and into the open. There's not much more you can do.
He comes out pretty clean. You can hear a couple of leaves hitting.
Yeah.
But he seemed to get up far enough within circle one, so he should have a putt.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell with the slope how close they're actually getting to the basket there. Someone looks just outside circled the one there, so Bogdan's gonna have a circle 2 putt here.
I thought that was in.
I know, right?
That was very deceiving.
So Casey's 30-footer here.
He's probably 33 feet. My rope got a little stretchy for South Bear. So, yeah, I apologize to everyone before they started South Bear, but our Circle 1 painting was a little longer than it needed to be.
Yeah, he made that putt, though. Mike
Yeah.
drops in a beautiful birdie.
Yeah. I've been playing that course for 4 years now, and I've birdied it twice. That was incredible drive.
All right, hole 16, nice wide open drive. There is OB on the right-hand side that kind of protects that hole 15's tee box, and but it does open up. So if you get far into the right, you can drop off into the trees. There's this little pocket of trees on the left-hand side that makes you have to swing the disc wide on a hyzer and come back in.
Yeah, so the hole measures in probably around that 650 to 700 feet range. You want to drive around 400, 450 if you got it for that easier upshot into the basket. But with this headwind, who knows how the players will be able to execute.
Yeah, Mike did well there. He kept it down, kept the disc going forwards, not too much right to left.
Yeah. Casey's kept it low out of the wind, but it dropped quicker. So it'll be a lot more difficult upshot.
Bogdan a little turned over, but he drops it.
Okay.
Cut rolls back into the middle of the fairway.
Yeah, got down before the OB stakes. That's nice. And last on the tee, we have Tyler. And he gets up into that wind, so looks like he went OB. And he'll be taking it from the stakes there.
So I don't think we've mentioned it yet in this round, but you can see Casey there. He's got the Prodigy logo on the back, Prodigy sponsored player. He's also got the Gander goose on the side of the arm. So he's sponsored by Gander and Prodigy.
Yep, Gander Disc Golf out of Edmonton.
But we're going to watch Tyler throw first. So Tyler was OB, comes his meter in.
Doesn't get the flight he wants out of it, and he's going to end up in those trees. Just those trees are short and left of the basket. You want to get behind them.
Yeah, so you can see, they didn't get the distance they wanted on their drive, so they're going to have to take more distance than they want. And you can't leave it short either because there's a nice drop off down there.
Yeah.
I think that one, there it is.
Yeah, stabled up. He ended up a little bit closer to the basket than Casey, but they're both down that hill. You really want to hyzer it into the basket. It's a pretty difficult upshot or putt from the bottom of that hill up to the basket.
When you give yourself that hyzer, you allow yourself to take a lot more height on it and just kind of crash it into the basket as opposed to having to play it low and kind of carry all the distance out of it.
Yeah, with the distance Mike got off his drive, he should be able to use the wind even to push himself into the basket here.
I didn't see where it finished, but the flight path looked like it was coming good.
Yeah.
So I think we already missed Casey's upshot.
This should be Tyler from the bushes.
Yeah, thanks to the GP players, that there is some gaps out of that hole. It's a well beaten little clump of trees.
Yeah.
And that's a really good out. Just drop it on the post and move on to the next hole.
Yeah. And Heckbert's looking at kind of a death putt here. If he misses, it has potential to roll quite a ways down this hill. Excellent putt.
He's really been turning it on the last couple holes.
Mm-hmm.
Putting together some good birdies.
Yeah, able to gain a stroke on Casey there. He's within 7 strokes now.
Yeah, so Mike's actually back to even on his round now. It's taken a long time to get back there, though.
Yeah.
Bogdan's 1 down on his round overall. Tyler will drop 2 off his pace.
And going into hole 17, our second to last hole. This is again another par 4. This is one of the eagleable par 4s. You can get a 2. Maybe not with this wind. You want to play a drive into this little landing tunnel, and then a nice little upshot hyzering into the basket on a slight upslope. And that's all you need to do for this shot. So,
yeah, Mike's giving her on the drive, keeps her nice and low, and he's hyzering out. So one thing here is if you go for the eagle, there's a good chance that you mess up and you end up taking a bogey. If you go for the safe play, a little layup and a chip to the green, it's a pretty easy birdie. So it's a good risk reward hole, especially if you've got a little bit extra on your arm.
Yeah. So I like that shot from Mike, though. It was very nicely done.
Yeah. Casey, trying to follow that line, just turns it over a little bit.
Yeah. So with that turnover, he's actually going down towards hole 3's basket, and that is a fairly difficult area to play out of. Lots of trees. You almost want to punch into hole 3's fairway so you can play out that way.
I feel like, though, because he turned it over, the wind pushed it down quite a bit, and I don't think he went in as deep as he could have. So Bogdan just likes to play more of that kind of hyzer layup shot to get to the open mouth.
And Tyler looking to improve on that double bogey on the last hole. It's looking nice. Is it going to hyzer out a little too early?
I think it is. And here's the problem: when you do go for it and you don't give yourself that full commit, then you risk those trees, especially on the left side. And there's Casey's outshot. That's a great out.
That is, yeah. Well, when you have the strokes to play with, you're comfortable doing that.
Yeah, you don't have to get fancy. You can just take your shot out, and you still got a good chance to get up and down for par.
Yeah, and you can see how open this shot is. This is 260 feet, maybe.
Yeah, you can see that green's got a good slope, though.
Yeah.
Left to right slope.
Yeah. Definitely plays the advantage for the right-hand backhand player. So.
Wait, there's left-handed players? So it's a little low with just a bit of a turnover. So he's going to have a longer putt, but I think he'll be around the edge of circle. See, and even Bogdan's layup is a little risky because he does bring those trees into play.
Mm-hmm.
Usually when I'm laying up, I'm looking more for where Casey's second shot was landed.
Right. Yeah, and Tyler, finished left on his drive. Didn't get the distance he wanted to get to that gap. It's almost a tricky distance to get to the gap. You don't think it's going to be difficult until you throw it.
No, and you got to throw like flat off the tee. You give it any height, and you're definitely bringing in that like stall out a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's how I eagled this hole before Mike Heckbert.
Yeah. Speaking of Mike Heckbert, have we seen his upshot yet? Or was that missed on coverage?
Here's the thing. He did really well. His drive is still to come.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know. This is where his drive ended up, I'm pretty sure, because
Okay.
I was like going in the edited footage and I'm like, did we miss it?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so this is Mike Heckbert for eagle.
Yeah, and he's probably about that edge of circle.
Edge of my circle, so it's 37 feet.
And that's the part that threw him off. He was planning a 33-foot weight, and it was actually a 37-foot putt. So thanks to Greg Hearn, Mike didn't eagle that hole.
I'm sorry, Mike. But excellent birdie, gaining 2 strokes to Casey. So he's within 5 going into hole 18.
So Mike gets the birdie, gets a 2-shot swing there. Did you just say that?
I literally just said that.
Yeah.
That's okay. So with that 2-shot swing that Mike just got, we're going into hole 18. So this is our signature hole on South Bear. We have the rocks. Between the road and the rocks, it plays hazard. So you want to get it inside that circle. And it's 280 feet, slightly downhill.
Did you tell him it's hazard between the rocks?
Yeah.
Yeah, so thanks to the city, we've got that nice mound feature off to the right, which is growing some pretty decent trees, actually. It's been there a couple of years now.
I really enjoy the mound feature. I hope they don't remove it.
So Mike just hanging one out to the right, and with this wind, which is kind of over the right shoulder, he actually does really well. Gets her to stick into that front of those rocks, the feature rocks.
Yeah, you really like to use the wind to push your disc from the right to left. Give you that extra bit of distance.
Here's Bogdan. He's got a shot.
Oh, so close from Bogdan.
And that was in.
That was in. So we'll take a look at that one again. Just an excellent throw from Bogdan to finish off this round. Hits chains inside of the basket and falls into the rocks. So, well done. Alright, now Tyler has to follow that up. He's seen the line from 2 players. Let's see.
But he didn't take the same line as them. He took the straighter line. And he gets hit off those back rocks, I think. And so he stays in the island.
That's good. Now Casey's electing to go with the forehand. Now, the wind's going to want to push this disc down.
Just throws it nice and low.
Oh, takes the skip out the back. It's unfortunate. So he'll be taking a hazard stroke.
So we missed a bunch of upshots. Tyler gets a birdie. Mike will take a birdie. Bogdan's going to take the CTP. And Casey, with that hazard stroke on the outside of the rocks, he takes a bogey. But he's got a 3-shot lead over Mike Heckbert right now. And so Mike really turned it around in this back 9.
So we'll see our back 9 scores here. Casey Hanemayer with a -1. Mike Heckbert with -5. Bogdan with a -1, and Tyler with a +1 on the back 9.
So Casey's got a 3-stroke lead over Mike. Bogdan's comes in at a -4, And Tyler's even for the 2 rounds, so not too bad, especially considering the wind.
Yeah.
There's some shots from our skills competition that we had right after that second round of the day.
And going into round 3, our lead card will be Casey Hanemayer at -9, Mike Heckbert -6, Matt Rorden at -5, and Bogdan with a -4. Bogdan rounding out his 3rd appearance in our coverage.
Good round for Matt, though. He pulled into -5. He's able to jump to lead card coverage for the final day, heading into Evergreen course.
Matt does really good things for disc golf down in the Canmore area, so it's good to have him in our coverage. I'm excited to see him.
Yeah, we'll do some good coverage, hopefully, and hopefully everyone plays well. All right, guys, Canmore's Disc Golf, and we'll catch you for the 3rd round.